Alright, so I got another solution here for you guys that are looking for 1S battery charging. Previously I made a video on this guy here. This is the ViFLY Whoop Store, and this charges 1S batteries here, BT 2.0 and PH 2.0 connectors in this one. I'll link this video in the video description if you want to check it out, but apparently this is okay for some situations, but if you have a regular charger like this one here, this is the Toolkit RC M6D, something like this new product here. It's called the Whoop series board right here. There's two versions. You can connect this to your charger and then basically plug in a number of batteries 1 through 6 to make either a 1S to a 6S battery, and then charge it on your regular charger. And this does give you a little bit more control in terms of the current flow, etc., on your regular chargers. And so this is another solution. So there's two versions of this, as I mentioned. There's this one here with the BT 2.0 connector and the PH 2.0 connector. And then there's another one with the, this is the GNB 27 connector and the PH 2.0 connector. And these are electrically connected on so this is the, basically position 1, 2, 3. So for each one of these, you can plug in either in this case, a GNB 27 battery or a PH 2.0 battery. You can't connect them both at the same time, because this essentially turns your whatever batteries, how many number of batteries you're connecting, say 3 batteries, into a 3-cell or a 3, it's basically a series type of connector. So it's basically 3 batteries in series. But if you put these 2 batteries on the same connector, then they're actually in parallel. So yeah, they don't recommend doing that. I think you'll end up with problems. Also, I do want to note, because I know people say, oh, you can just build your own harness, and I actually have a video about this I made, I think it was like 3 years ago on my channel. So if you want to go search for it, be my guest, but I don't recommend that method anymore. Basically, that video is, I guess, for most people, that there's going to be some of you that are engineers out there, or engineering types, and the electrical stuff is not a big deal and easy to figure out, and you're not going to make mistakes. And go ahead, do the DIY. It's cheaper, obviously. I think this one's like $12 or $13 for this solution here. But obviously, making your own harness cable is going to be cheaper. But I do know that a few subscribers have had some issues with that method, where they made some mistakes. Typically, it's reverse polarity on one of the battery connectors. So if you have a 3S harness, I think one of the times they made a mistake where they reversed like the middle one, or one of these ones, and when they plugged it in, basically the batteries caught fire. So yeah, so if you're not confident in your electrical engineering abilities, this might be a cheaper alternative versus trying to risk a battery fire and perhaps burning your house down. So and these will definitely work. So there's a fuse here, of course, in case there's any problems. You have to select how many batteries you're going to plug in. So if you're just plugging in one, you want this on 1S. You have a little dial here. Change it to 2S, 3S. So plug in 3 batteries, it'll turn into like a 3S battery. So let's go ahead and let me just demonstrate this real quick. I'll plug in the one with the BT 2.0 and PH 2.0 connectors. So you plug this in, and it looks like a 6S battery, because you can't go up to 6S, and etc. You can see obviously nothing is there because there's no batteries plugged in. So let's go ahead and let's plug in 2. So I'll switch this to 2. And on the first one, we'll plug in a PH 2.0 battery, and you'll see the voltage there, 3.7. And then the next one, we'll plug in a BT 2.0 battery, like so. And you see the battery voltages aren't matching, but if you use a proper one of these hobby grade battery chargers, it'll balance charge them. So we're on 2S. We'll go ahead and go in here. We'll change our settings to charge, and what you want to do in terms of setting the amperage is it's basically turning it into a 2S battery at 300 milliamps or milliamp hours. So I'm going to be charging this at 1C, which is going to be 0.3 amps. You don't want to add up. So for example, if you have 2 of these, you don't want to be charging this at 0.6 or 600 milliamp hours. You want to charge this at 300 milliamp hours because this is going to be connected in series. And we'll go there, and then these are high volt batteries. So our end voltage is going to be 4.35 volts. So this is obviously the advantage of using something like this is you can have more control over the charge currents. If you want less or more, you can do that and adjust it here, fine tune it the way you like. And it starts. And then you'll see that this will start balance charging the 2 cells. And just to the charger, it just looks like a 2S battery with basically 2 cells. And we'll let that go. Another advantage of using one of these hobby grade chargers is it will reveal the internal resistance of the battery. So you can see on port 1 that this is the nitro nectar from Newbie Drone. Pretty high resistance there because that's a pretty old battery. I don't think I actually use this anyways. I just use it for demos. And then this 300 milliamp hour beta FPV battery is actually brand new. So little demo here about I know the Newbie Drones are definitely a higher quality battery, but obviously the more you use it, the more the internal resistance will build up. Even though the beta FPV battery isn't as good, but brand new, it still has a lower internal resistance here, as you can see on the battery charger. So obviously if you want to add more batteries here, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and add a couple more batteries. Put this on 3. I'm going to change this to 4S. And plug it in over here. So don't plug it in over here because it won't be in. You have to put it in the correct order. Plug this one over here. And you can see now we're on it basically looks like a 4-cell battery. So you have 4 of them right here. And let's go ahead and start charging it again at 0.3. And you want to have all the batteries to be the same size. So if you plug in a 300 and 300 and this one's like say a 450, then it's going to be won't be, it'll still probably work. It's just that the 450 cell will take longer to charge, and you'll end up having more voltage put into these smaller cells unnecessarily. So basically you want to match up the capacities of the different batteries that you're plugging in here. Even though you can mix and match the different connectors, as you can see here, I would not recommend mix and matching the capacities. I would keep them all the same. Alright, so that's going to cover for this video. Links will be down in the video description if you want to check it out. Pretty useful product, doesn't cost a whole lot, and you don't have to mess around with building your own DIY harness. And yeah, it'll work if you have an existing battery charger like the one I showed you earlier. And if you don't want to get that whoop store, which is I think quite a bit more expensive versus this solution. This is a little bit more price friendly, and especially if you already have an existing battery charger like the one I have. That'll do for this one. Talk to you guys in the next video.